You're one decision away from changing your life forever. One move, one yes or one no, that can either set you free or trap you in the system for the rest of your life. I want you to imagine something. You've spent 4 years in college. You've done everything right. You've studied hard, followed the plan, played by the rules. Everyone told you, get the degree, get the job, build a career. That's how you make it in America, right? So you finally land that job interview. You're nervous but excited. You sit there, the hiring manager smiles and asks the classic question, how much are you hoping to make? And that's when reality hits. They offer you $14 an hour. You do the math. 40 hours a week, that's $560, and before taxes. You realize that's not freedom, that's not success, that's survival. Now here's the crazy part. The week before, you made $600 in a single day doing something you actually enjoyed. You worked hard, yes, but it didn't feel like work. You were alive. You were independent. You weren't waiting for someone's approval or paycheck. And that's when the truth punches you right in the gut. If you follow the system everyone else follows, you'll end up where everyone else ends up, stuck, stressed, and broke. See, life doesn't wait for permission. It rewards those who take risks, who make the uncomfortable moves, who choose growth over safety. That's where the journey really begins. Not when you get your first job offer, but when you start questioning why you even want it. Because from that moment on, everything changes. The direction of your life, your finances, your mindset, everything. So in this video, I want to break down the real story. How one simple decision can shift your entire financial future. Not by luck, not by chance, but by knowledge, risk, and discipline. I remember sitting there staring at that offer letter on my screen. $14 an hour. 4 years of college, sleepless nights, student loans, endless exams. And this is what the world was offering me. $14 an hour to trade my time for a paycheck that would barely cover rent, gas, and a few groceries. Something inside me just paused. I started doing the math in my head. 40 hours a week. That's $560 before taxes. Maybe 400 something after. And then I thought about my weekend gig. Just one Saturday playing drums at weddings, loud music, good energy, fun crowd. And I was walking away with $600 in cash. No boss, no time clock, no office. So here's what hit me like a truck. I could spend a whole week behind a desk, tired and uninspired, and still make less money than I did in a single day doing something I actually enjoyed. That's when everything started to shift. Not just the numbers, but my mindset. See, most of us grow up believing that stability equals success. Get the degree, get the job, get the check. But no one tells you that stable can also mean stuck. Because if you're making just enough to get by, if you're waiting for Friday to feel alive, if your paycheck disappears before the month even ends, that's not freedom. That's a trap. And that was my wake-up call. I realized the system wasn't broken. It was designed that way, to keep you working, spending, repeating, never questioning. So I made a decision that most people would call crazy. I turned down the job. I walked away from the safe route. Not because I had it all figured out, but because deep down I knew if I wanted a different kind of life, I had to make a different kind of move. That was the day I stopped chasing security and started chasing possibility. The truth is, nobody teaches us how money really works. We learn history, we memorize formulas, we write essays about things we'll never use again, but no one sits us down and says, here's how to build wealth. Here's how to make your money grow. Most people graduate knowing how to earn a paycheck, but not how to keep it, multiply it, or make it work while they sleep. That's not education. That's conditioning. And that's where my eyes finally opened. I realized knowledge isn't just information, it's leverage. It's the difference between working for money and having money work for you. So I started studying, not school stuff, but real-world stuff. How investing works. Why the rich talk about assets instead of income. How mindset shapes money decisions. I spent nights watching financial breakdowns, reading books I didn't understand at first, listening to people who had already made it. And slowly, things began to click. It wasn't about luck. It was about learning the rules that nobody tells you. Because once you understand the rules, you can finally play the game differently. Knowledge gave me something a paycheck never could: power. The power to decide how my time is used, where my money goes, and who benefits from my effort. See, there's a moment when you stop chasing opportunities and start creating them. That shift doesn't come from chance. It comes from understanding. And that's when I realized, it's not about being smarter than everyone else. It's about being more aware. Because awareness, that's what opens doors the system was designed to keep closed. Knowledge is power, but without action it's useless. That's where risk comes in. See, most people avoid risk like it's a monster under the bed. They stick to what's safe, what's familiar, what won't shake the boat. And that's fine, if you're okay staying where you are. But if you want to break free, to build wealth, to take control of your life, risk is unavoidable. Risk doesn't mean recklessness. It doesn't mean gambling away everything on a whim. It means stepping into the unknown, knowing there's a chance you'll fail, but also knowing there's a chance you'll win big. I took risks early on. I started small businesses, invested in things I barely understood at first. And yes, I made mistakes. Big ones. I lost money, I lost sleep, I learned lessons the hard way. But every mistake was a stepping stone, a lesson that sharpened my judgment and prepared me for bigger opportunities. And here's the thing: risk without discipline is chaos. You can take every chance in the world, but without discipline, it's wasted energy. Discipline is what keeps you consistent. Discipline is what stops you from spending every dollar you earn. Discipline is what makes you invest in your future instead of chasing instant gratification. You want wealth that lasts? You need both. The courage to take smart risks, and the discipline to follow through, to keep learning, to keep investing, to keep building. It's not glamorous. It's not a viral TikTok moment. It's the quiet grind, the daily choices, the small sacrifices, repeated over time. That combination, risk plus discipline, that's the formula that turns one-time wins into lifetime freedom. And once you understand that, the game changes. Suddenly, you're not just working for money. You're working to make money work for you, for decades, for generations, for your legacy. So, let's put it all together. You've seen the path, the trap of the safe job, the power of knowledge, the edge that risk and discipline give you. Here's the truth. Building wealth isn't about luck. It's not about being born into money. It's about decisions, the ones you make today, that shape your tomorrow. One decision to learn more. One decision to step out of your comfort zone. One decision to invest, save, and take calculated risks. Those decisions compound over time. They stack on each other. And suddenly, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. You're not just living paycheck to paycheck. You're building freedom. You're building options. You're building a legacy. Here's my challenge to you. Look at your life right now. Ask yourself, is your current path getting you closer to freedom or keeping you stuck? If it's the latter, take action today. Start small if you have to. Learn, read, invest, take calculated risks, build discipline in your daily choices, and remember, it's never too late to start.